Welcome to the Wild West, a time of untamed frontiers, lawless lands, and legendary gunslingers. But in the heart of the chaos, one thing was constant: the weapons that shaped the fate of the West. When we think of the Wild West, one weapon stands out: the revolver. This iconic firearm was the weapon of choice for cowboys, outlaws, and lawmen alike. But how did it become such a staple of the frontier? The revolver's invention revolutionized gunfighting. Before its creation, single-shot pistols had limited firepower. The revolver allowed for multiple shots without needing to reload, giving its wielder a serious edge in a showdown. The most famous revolver of the Wild West was the Colt single-action army, also known as the Peacemaker. Introduced in 1873, it became the go-to firearm for the U.S. Army and countless frontier settlers. Its six-shot capacity, reliability, and ease of use made it a legend in the West. From Wyatt Earp at the OK Corral to Billy the Kid, revolvers played a role in the most infamous shootouts of the era. But the revolver wasn't the only weapon that left its mark. While the revolver was the quick-draw weapon of the Wild West, rifles and shotguns offered the range and stopping power needed for hunting, defense, and warfare. Perhaps no rifle is more closely associated with the West than the Winchester Model 1873. Dubbed the gun that won the West, this lever-action rifle was a favorite for its durability and rapid-firing capability. With a magazine that could hold up to 15 rounds, the Winchester allowed settlers, lawmen, and outlaws alike to keep firing without constantly reloading. It was ideal for both hunting and combat. The double-barreled shotgun was another important weapon of the frontier. While rifles were great for long-range engagements, the shotgun provided close-range firepower, ideal for defending homes and farms. Shotguns were also used by stagecoach guards, known as shotgun messengers. Sitting next to the driver, these guards would ward off bandits and outlaws with devastating blasts from their shotguns, giving rise to the phrase "riding shotgun." Guns weren't the only weapons in the West. Knives, especially the Bowie knife, were essential tools for survival and self-defense. Named after the famous frontiersman Jim Bowie, this large fighting knife was ideal for close-quarters combat. It could be used for hunting, skinning, or in a last-ditch effort during a fight when guns were out of reach. In saloon brawls, knives and fists often took the place of firearms. It wasn't uncommon for fights to escalate into deadly confrontations with broken bottles, chairs, or even bare hands. The Native American tribes of the West had their own unique and effective weapons. Long before the arrival of Europeans, the bow and arrow was the primary tool for hunting and warfare. Skilled archers could release arrows rapidly, and some tribes even learned to fire from horseback, making them formidable opponents in battle. The tomahawk was another important weapon. Used both as a tool and a weapon, the tomahawk could be thrown with deadly accuracy or wielded in hand-to-hand combat. Though the introduction of firearms eventually changed the nature of warfare in the West, Native Americans adapted quickly, acquiring rifles through trade or capturing them in battle. Not all weapons of the Wild West were made for open warfare. Some were designed for stealth and personal defense, like the tiny derringer pistol. This compact, easily concealed pistol was favored by gamblers, ladies of the frontier, and even famous figures like John Wilkes Booth, who used a derringer to assassinate President Abraham Lincoln. On the other end of the spectrum, there were weapons like the Gatling gun, an early type of machine gun that could unleash a devastating barrage of bullets. Though rare, this weapon was used in the West during military confrontations, especially during the Indian Wars. The weapons of the Wild West have left a lasting legacy. From Hollywood westerns to modern-day cowboy action shooting sports, the revolvers, rifles, and other tools of the frontier continue to captivate our imaginations. Though the frontier may be long gone, the spirit of the Wild West lives on in the weapons that defined it, symbols of freedom, danger, and adventure. From the six-shooter to the Winchester rifle, the weapons of the Wild West were more than just tools. They were symbols of survival and the struggle to tame a lawless land. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of Wild West weapons.